Welcome and thank you for your time today. My name's Marnie Fulmer, Senior Partner Channel Marketing Manager here in Australia. In this video today, we'll be covering week 2 of the 8-week challenge for building an AI practice. I'm joined today with my colleague Luke Swetman, a Partner Development Manager in Australia, and he'll be covering the foundations of the different types of commercial models available when building out an AI practice. And then I will be back and I'll cover off some of the MPN program benefits that are available to you as you build out your practice. So with that, I'll hand over to Luke.
Great, thanks Marnie. Hi everyone. So to leverage Microsoft AI, you need Microsoft Azure. And as part of that, there's multiple different business models that match to how you work. You might need different features, options, or benefits depending on how you structure your business. So based on that, what I'm going to try and do is walk you through the basics of, based on your business model, which would be the best route for you? How do you transact? Which licensing model do you use? And what are the different features of each of them that you should be aware of? So the first thing to know is high level, what are the common business models that we see with Azure? So there's the transactional business models, where you're either consuming Azure to power your own application or service or IP, or you're reselling Azure subscriptions to end customers and then passing IP down to them. And then the other route that's non-transactional is consulting. So if someone already has their own Azure subscription, that's a model where you just provide additional services, support, and other features to them that might not be relevant to a direct transaction occurring. So I'm going to start by talking through the consume business model. So in this model on the left, think of it as your company needing to power your app or service that has an artificial intelligence layer. It needs an Azure subscription, and you're purchasing that via either Microsoft or a partner. And then you bundle your Azure subscription, you build all your IP on top, and then you sell your app or offer down to your customers. So in this model, the key features to think of is, one, you're only buying one Azure subscription and all of your customers exist in that one environment. Microsoft or a partner could bill you in this model, and you own your own subscription. So you're not selling individual subscriptions downstream, you own the one Azure subscription where you're building out your app or offer. And then the fourth is, often the customers don't even know what cloud is in the background. So think of, for example, the Netflix model. When you buy a Netflix subscription, you're not also buying an Azure subscription or other cloud provider subscription. You're just buying your login. So that's this model with the consumption model. The end customer might just be buying your amazing artificial intelligence infused Apple service, and they never know that Azure is powering in the background. So if this sounds like you, you've got a few options for how you can buy Azure to make it work. So if you're comfortable with managing your own environment, maybe you've got a team of developers or you've got other partners you work with that will help you bring this to life, then you could just buy directly from azure.com. Or you can, if you're above $15,000 annually, you can look at an enterprise agreement. If you think that you need a bit more help, so you're wanting someone who can provide a bit more support, who could potentially manage some of the fundamental parts of your environment, then that's where we'd recommend partnering up with other partners and going via the partner route. So that's the consume business model. The alternative transaction model is reselling. So that's where your company is buying Azure subscriptions from Microsoft or from a distributor and then reselling them to each individual customer. So you can see on the left here, you've got your company who's buying it from Microsoft distributor. Then I've got a box there that shows the customer has an Azure subscription, which is managed by you because you bought it and you've resold that subscription to the customer. And then alongside that, you've got your IP or your services that you're wrapping around that subscription to make up your offer or your product for the customer. So the key features of this model are, firstly, you're buying one Azure subscription per customer. So if you think back to the consume model, that's where you're buying one Azure subscription to power your offer to all of your customers. Whereas in this model where you're reselling individual Azure subscriptions. Also, the other difference in this model is in the consume model, you are essentially the customer because you're buying that subscription for you to consume. Whereas if you're reselling, you bill your customers for Azure. So you own the billing relationship with the customer. Microsoft and other partners don't bill your customers. You manage that full billing and commercial relationship with them. So if this sounds like a fit for your business model, then you have two ways of buying. The way we recommend, where the majority of partners leverage is the cloud solution provider indirect model. So you can see at the bottom right of the slide here, I've said the cloud solution provider really is that hero model, but within that, most people go for CSP indirect, which means that you go to an indirect provider or a distributor, and they can help you out with billing, they can help out with technically getting you set up with the environment and get you going, and then potentially also give you favorable credit terms as well. The other option is, if you're sitting there going, oh, well, we have a resale business model, but we're not someone who needs billing or technical help, you might have an advanced billing system already that can handle consumption-based billing, so think pay as you go, or you have your own help desk and you don't need someone else's help desk, then that's where you can look at the cloud solution provider direct model. So they're the two models in the resale type companies. The third model is consult. So this one's pretty simple. This one, you're not doing the transaction. So the customer you can see in the middle on the left here, they've bought an Azure subscription from Microsoft or a partner. Now, I've got managed by you, but really this is up to you how you manage the relationship with your customer. They could have that subscription potentially managed by another partner. They could manage it themselves, or you could manage it. And then what your company does is basically sell a range of services and maybe other IP to that customer, but it's a separate commercial agreement to the actual Azure transaction. So that's why I think of this model as a non-transactional model. It's one where you're not actually doing the transaction of the Azure subscription to the customer. Other features of this model, the customer can buy Azure via any route. So think of the customer in this example as one who might fit in the consume business model we mentioned before. So they could buy it via Azure.com, they could have an enterprise agreement if they're a larger customer, or on top of that, they could be buying by another partner who's an Azure expert. And the other key feature of this is really the way you do business in this kind of business model is really up to you. You can adapt your business model, you can be IP focused, you can do managed services, project services, there's lots of different ways you can engage. It really comes down to the way that you've structured your model. So that's a quick reference guide. We've talked through a few different options here, and you're probably wondering, okay, well, there's one of these that jumped out that sounds like my business model. Where do I go next? So we've created this quick reference guide for if you have a transactional business model. If you identified more with the consult business model, then you don't need to worry about doing the transaction. So for you, you can just move on with the rest of this AI challenge and be thinking more about the services and the other IP that you're going to build. Whereas if you were sitting there going, I need to do the transaction, this is the slide you need. So if you sounded like maybe the consume model was a better fit for you and you're going to manage it on your own, so you're looking at Azure.com or the enterprise agreement, for Azure.com, it's easy. Get started by going to Azure.com and you can start a free trial and get started with everything you need there. If you're looking more at an enterprise agreement, so we've included a link there that will tell you a bit more about the type of licensing agreements that fall in there. And if you want to specifically talk to someone about which partners can help you transact that, then reach out to Microsoft Partner Support and they'll be able to help. If you're looking at other partner routes, so we'd recommend using the solution provider search. So I've included a link there where you can type in Azure, pick your geography, the size of your company, and they'll recommend a few different options that might be able to help. If you identified more with the resale business model, then you have the two options we mentioned earlier. Indirect, where the indirect provider or distributor can help with the billing and technical side. If that sounds like it's a fit for you, there's a link on here where you can click that, sort by Australia, and then it will tell you all of the appropriate providers that we have in Australia that are there to help. If you thought that you had more advanced billing capability, maybe your own help desk, and you'll want to consider CSP Direct or Cloud Solution Provider Direct program, you can learn more by clicking the link at the bottom there, and it'll walk you through the different criteria, requirements, etc. For that model. And with all of this, if there is anything that you need help with or you're not sure of, it's easy. Just contact Microsoft Partner Network Support on 13 20 58, options 251, or visit the MPN Support Hub and they'll be happy to assist. And with that, I'll pass it back over to Marnie.
Thanks, Luke. Okay, so we've just covered the different commercial models to help you build out your AI practice. And now what I'm going to do is kind of take you through some of the MPM benefits that you may be aware of or you may not be aware of that you have. Before I deep dive into some of those services, I wanted to kind of step back and give you an overview of the different levels of membership that are available with Microsoft as a partner. So when you begin your journey with Microsoft, you're able to sign up as a network partner, which is a no-cost introductory tier. You get access to the portal, access to all the sales, collateral and marketing collateral, support and training at no cost. The next tier we have is what we call the Action Pack, or as an acronym, which you would have heard, the MAPS. Now, this is an annual subscription that takes your partnership to that next level. It allows you to get internal user rights, which gives you licenses to use within your company to test out all the latest and greatest with Microsoft Cloud solutions. You also have access to better support and then also some developer tools as well. Now this is a great introductory pack for those that are on network and are looking to get hands-on with Azure. You do get some credits. The next level we have is our competency level, and that's really broken up into two tiers. We have our silver, which is the first tier, and gold. Similar to a frequent flyer program, you have different statuses. Now with the competency memberships, you have to obtain certain criterias. So there's three main things that you need to do. You need to make sure that you meet a performance threshold, get technical certification, and get some customer references. We have a ton of different competencies based on your specializations. And as you can see here in the table, which will be available after this video, you can download, you can kind of see the types of core benefits that you get within each of the tiers. So Action Pack, you're getting up to 10 licenses per product, all the way up to Gold, where you're getting about 100 licenses per product. And that's from Office 365 through to Dynamics and also Azure credits as well. For those that are developers on the call, you also get access to Visual Studio licenses, which are a benefit to a lot of people. You also get advisory hours, which I might just quickly go over into the next slide, which shows you advisory hours is where you can use pre-sales or deployment support. So it's a global team that we have here at Microsoft to really help you build out your technical capabilities and accelerate those deployments you have. If you are building an app for your AI practice, they can help you with that app development. And once you reach that Action Pack membership tier and beyond, you get a certain amount of hours that you can use against those advisory hours. You also get, when you think about after the 8-week challenge, how do you get that technical guidance or always on? This is the service for you. So you'll get technical consultants being able to recommend training paths for yourself or for your employees. You'll also get personalized one-on-one technical training with virtual whiteboards and architecture reviews, and also they do shadowing for real-world scenarios that you're working on. It's a really great service for you to leverage throughout the full year and use that benefit. So when we talk about the competencies, I talked about the tiers, I talked about the different types of competencies available. Now we do have quite a few because we have so many products from Microsoft point of view. But when we think about AI practices, we don't have a particular AI specialization or certification competency at this stage. But our recommendations are either the cloud platform and infrastructure competencies or the app development and ISV competencies, depending on what you're doing on the platform. And again, just to reinforce, for cloud-based competencies, the requirements that need to be met is there's a performance threshold. So that means that you need to be making, you need to meet a certain amount of consumption on Azure. Technical certification, so you need to get your teams certified in particular disciplines It's all listed within the competency page on MPN, so you can have a little look at that afterwards. You need to have some customer references, so you need a few wins on the board in order to reach those competencies. You need to have built out your partner profile, and then of course pay the membership fee. For the app-based competencies, they're slightly different. You don't have that performance threshold at this point in time. All you need to do is get your technical certifications done, your customer references done, your partner profile, and obviously pay the fee. So there's just some different options for you as you're looking to build out your AI practice. One key area of admin that allows you to both obtain your cloud performance is what we call digital partner of record. So in order for you to be recognized for your cloud performance over time, it's critical that you have digital partner record attached to every customer sale. So it's not only the mechanism which we use to report on your performance, it's also tied to incentives. So as Luke talked about, the different models, if you are the one owning the licensing, it's really important to make sure that your customers are assigning you so that you're getting that recognition from Microsoft. So my recommendation after this video is to download the Partner 101 deck, which will be available on the AI resource page under week 2, to go through the guidelines to make sure that your customers are attaching you appropriately. So outside of the general benefits and the technical benefits of MPN and competencies, there are many resources that are available on the network to support your business as you expand into new areas. And I just wanted to call out one area that is new, has only been released in the last few weeks, which is situated underneath the Solution tab of the Partner Network. And it is a dedicated page for data and AI, and it's broken into different specializations. So you can kind of see there, if you're looking to bring on business analytics and AI, you can have a little look at what it takes to build out those practices. We also have some pre-customized, pre-packaged templates that you can customize for your own business around data platform modernization, business analytics and AI, and IoT technologies. Now these will continue to build out as we go through the year, but it's a great resource hub. So I would recommend for everyone to favorite that page and kind of go back to it after the 8-week challenge, because it will continue to update. So with that, we are at the end of our week 2 video, and the challenge we have for you this week is to do 2 things. Number 1, download the Partner 101 deck, which I've put the AKA link there for you, but there will also be a link on the resource page, and also explore that data and AI resource page, which I just spoke to you about. Have a look at the resources that are available to you, have discussions with your organization on what you can do around AI. So with that, I'm going to close the video and thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you next week.